All right. Hello again, adventurers, and welcome to another exciting episode of Daily December 2020. This is day 25. For those of you that do celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. For those of you that celebrate other holidays, happy holidays, happy Kwanzaa, happy Hanukkah, happy solstice. I know a lot of those holidays have already passed, but I haven't really mentioned it. So whatever you do or don't do, as I do know people that don't celebrate holidays at all, please enjoy this time of year. Whether you associate it with your religion, with official national holidays, or just that, it's cold outside, so there is in half of the world it's cold outside, and so nature is encouraging us to stay close to conserve body heat. I really hope you guys are enjoying this time of year. That being said, it is time for my annual Christmas haul. And I'm going to start this off by saying I am 12 years old in my actually, once you see everything I got, I'm like 7 years old as far as my interests are concerned. If you are not aware, I'm actually a huge fan of Power Rangers. I watched them when I was a kid. I watched them for much longer than most kids watch Power Rangers because it came out when I was like 4. I think like 3 or 4, and so I watched live from the very first series all the way up through Lightspeed Rescue is when I finally stopped watching, which was like season, I don't know, 8 or 9. I can't remember. It was a lot. Like I watched it for close to a decade, and it was targeted to kids much younger than me. Stopped watching for a while because, well, you're too old for that. And then I got back into it when Hyper RPG did Power Rangers Hyper Force, which was an officially licensed and canon Power Rangers tabletop RPG. I got to interact with Peter Sidarso. He introduced me to Power Rangers Little Legacy Wars, which I still play. And I started getting back into Power Rangers itself as an adult, as an over 30 adult. I have watched complete Power Rangers seasons, and I will turn them on fairly regularly because depending on the season, the writing is decent for a kid show. Some of the seasons are really good, and I just like the idea of the Power Rangers. And now that I've gotten to the point where I no longer feel embarrassed about the things that I enjoy, I'm totally happy to say, yeah, I'm a huge Power Rangers fan. I know all the lore. I know almost all of the Super Sentai series that influenced or that they took footage from for each one of the Power Rangers series. So, like Mighty Morphin, the first season of Mighty Morphin was adapted from Zyuranger. Zeo was Oranger. I think SPD was Deca Ranger. Yeah, I am very into this as a series. So when my family asks, well, what do you want for Christmas? My response generally tends to be just about anything Power Rangers related, I'm going to enjoy. If you couldn't tell by this stuff back here, I've got things like I've got Lord Draken over there, and I've got the Megazord that's kind of blocked by my mic here. I'm gonna move it. You can see I've got a little Megazord over there, the Dino Megazord, the first Megazord. I've got Green Ranger right behind me. Actually, in that cabinet there, I have a ton of minifigures that are actually still in the boxes because I haven't figured out how I want to display them. I'm not the kind of person that keeps things in boxes. I like to open everything. So, yeah. So before I start talking about everything I got for Christmas, you're going to notice a definite theme and other things like for ages 6 and up on most of my things. So I am the up for 6 and up. So the first thing I got, which is the first thing that's not to the toy, my sister and her family sent me a little Funko Pop of Tommy and his Green Ranger, which is still my favorite Ranger is to the Tommy Oliver, specifically as the Green Ranger. The only time I've ever cosplayed, I did it as the Green Ninjetti Ranger, which didn't exist, but I had someone make this custom cosplay for me. It's super cool. I still have it, but I don't fit in it anymore because I'm much bigger than I was before. But yes, this is a little to the Tommy Funko Pop. And yeah, again, this is the stuff that I love. Today, I got the rest of my presents because that one I got a little while ago. Today I got the rest of my presents. The first one I got was this. This is really cool nesting doll sets. You've got the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the 5 Core Rangers, and you've got, it's real hard to see, but there's a little alpha in there as well. They're made of real wood and everything. I don't know if I'm actually going to open this one because I really like how they're displayed here. And if I open it, I'm going to actually nest them. And so you'll only ever be able to see the Red Ranger. So I'm not sure if I'm going to open this, but I am a huge fan. Eventually, I need to get somewhere where I can display all my Power Rangers memorabilia. Because I've got tons. I've got my original Morpher is over there. And I've got the Green Ranger coin and the White Ranger coin. I also have the Dragon Dagger way over there as well. That is one of my pride and joy. The dagger I have is made out of metal and plastic, so it's still got plastic pieces, but it's got weight to it. Like it's a really high quality replica. It plays sounds, but this sounds really aren't the big deal for me. It's the fact that it is such a really good replica. So yeah, that's the first thing that I got. And I gotta find places to put this stuff as I showed off. The second thing I got is actually something that I've wanted since I was a little kid. It's not the exact same thing as I wanted. This is a new version of it, but it still excites me more than it should. The 32-year-old man. But I have the Dino Megazord. Now, this one is unique, mostly because Power Rangers, the reason Power Rangers still exists is toy sales. The actual show itself doesn't make a ton of money for, used to be Saban, now it's owned by Hasbro. Power Rangers, the actual television show, does not make them a ton of money. But the licensing and the merchandising does. And so, and that's how Super Sentai works too, is they create it to sell toys. To the point where early on in Super Sentai, and I believe the same is true about Power Rangers, they would have different props for the characters, and then the toys would be kind of lesser versions of that. And eventually they just stopped doing that, and they would actually have the Power Rangers use the toys on a screen, or at least things that looked exactly like the toys, simply because it was an easier way to sell the toys. So for every season of Power Rangers, I think they're on, it's either 25 or 35. It's a lot. I believe it's 25 because it started in the 90s. So. But yeah, it's been over to 20 years. Every season they have at least one Megazord. A lot of times they'll have 2, 3, 4. Some of them they have tons. But the way they normally sell them is you'll just have a big box. It generally costs like 50 to 80 bucks, and you will get all the Zords, and they'll be able to go together to form the Megazord. For whatever reason, with this one, which I thought they had a name for this particular. The last time they re-released stuff, I think they called it the Legends or the Lightning Collection. That was what it was called. I don't know what these are called, but they actually sell them in packs of 2. So this is the Mastodon, the Pterodactyl. If you look on the back, they do actually form the Megazord. This is Triceratops, and this is Saber-toothed Tiger. And then Tyrannosaurus! And that comes with the Power Sword. And like I said before, I am a massive Power Rangers fan. And I stopped being a fan for well over a decade because people kind of just told me, well, you're an adult, you're not allowed to like that. And that happened with a lot of the things that I liked. Like, I've always been really into video games, but I didn't really speak about it with most of my friends. Because I'd had one or two friends that had said, "Oh, those are for babies," you know. And then when I became an adult, I would kind of hide the things that I was interested in, because I was told specifically by one of my significant others that it was stupid and I should be ashamed of it, and I was. And after years of the therapy, I've kind of just not really come to terms. I'm proud of the fact that I am a super Power Rangers fan. To put it in perspective, Andre Meadows, Andre the Black Nerd, has been a super Power Rangers fan for forever. And he would go to conventions and he would interview Power Rangers and things like that. And he became very, very well known in the Power Rangers community when Hyper RPG created their Power Rangers show. They had Andre play their Blue Ranger. So Andre went from being a fan to actually being a Power Ranger, which is incredible. I would love nothing more than to be a Power Ranger. The best thing I ever saw was at one of the Power Morphicons after Hyperforce had came out. Andre was at Power Morphicon because he's always there, and they were doing a Forever Blue panel, which, if you're not familiar with what that is, there was a 10-year anniversary episode that they did called Forever Red, where they brought back almost every Red Ranger from the past 10 years. And it was a really well done show. I've watched it multiple times. It's a really great episode. It's campy and silly like Power Rangers is, but there's some good stuff in it. So at Power Morphicon, every so often you'll see like a Forever Yellow episode or Forever Blue or panel. I mean, they're not episodes, and all they are is they just bring together a bunch of Rangers of the same color, and they do it. And so Andre was walking around, and somebody goes, "Oh, Andre, the Forever Blue panel is going. We need you." And he's like, "What?" He's like, "Well, you're the Blue Hyper for Force Ranger. We need you." And so he got to sit in on this panel, not as a moderator, because he moderated a ton of them. Again, super Power Rangers fan. But he got to sit down as a Power Ranger next to other Blue Rangers, and they treated him as a peer, which is an insane the thing to happen to anyone. To have people that you genuinely admire sit you down and treat you as an equal and as part of their group is an unbelievable experience. And the best part of that panel is all the panels always end with the Rangers doing their morphing call. If you don't know what that is, the Power Rangers are a bunch of teens with attitude. In general, sometimes they're adults. It changes every season. But the way they become their superhero selves is they morph. And the original group would say, "It's morphin' time!" And then they'd call out their dinosaur, and they would do it. And every team of Rangers has their own morphing call. Sometimes it's morphin' to the time. A lot of times they'll have it customized, like Lightspeed Rescue is they go, "Lightspeed Rescue," and then they morph. Or Samurai is go Samurai, and then they draw the kanji of their helmet and then slap it, and then it goes psh, and it turns into their helmet and then their armor. Or Mystic Force is magical source. Mystic Force. It's really scary how well I know all these morphing calls. But yeah, so the Forever Blue panel is going on. It gets to the end, and everyone goes, morphing call. And so they go down the line of every single Power Ranger morphing, and it gets to Andre, and he's just sitting there, he's like, this is my first time doing this. And everyone's there. It's like, yeah. All the Power Rangers are there going, yeah, go for it, dude. And he does his Hyperforce, he does his Hyperforce morphing call, and the audience explodes in applause, and all the other Rangers do. And there's one other Blue Ranger after him who just kind of goes, yeah. He was cooler, but he does his morphing call. He doesn't get the huge thing. And I think that's what's just so cool about the Power Ranger fandom, is it's such this incredible supportive group. And Power Rangers teaches really, to be blunt, Power Rangers teaches things that we need to know right now. This world would be a significantly better place if we had Power Rangers. But it teaches things like teamwork and overcoming your own weaknesses, trusting other people. And one of the common themes for the first 6 or 7 years is the idea of martial arts specifically being a tool of self-defense and a way to improve your self, and learning self-control and to protect those that couldn't protect themselves. I mean, they're all wonderful, amazing ideas, and they show them off in unique and wonderful ways, and they've tackled some really, really touchy subjects. So, yes, I'm no longer ashamed of my Power Rangers fan-dumness. You can absolutely bet that the next time you see a video, I will have my Megazord somewhere. I don't know where I'm going to display it yet, but I will have my Megazord up there. Because, again, I'm not the kind of person that keeps things in boxes in general. I want to play with my toys. So, yeah, I hope you guys are having a wonderful holiday season. There's going to be no D&D deep dive today because it's Christmas. I'm going to take a day off. However, on Monday, you may want to tune in to my Twitch channel at around 1 p.m. Central Time. There may be something unique happening there. It's twitch.tv/Trader Jody. I'll make another video talking a little more in depth, but get prepared. It's going to be really cool and interesting. Anyway, that's all for me today. I will see you guys tomorrow. All right? Bye-bye.